This might be the best instant read thermometer out there, and you get perfect results every time. An instant read thermometer is something I really just couldn't do barbecue without. It makes cooking barbecue so much easier and less stressful. Not only is an instant read thermometer perfect for getting your temperatures, but these probes on here are exactly what you want for checking tenderness of meat. Now, when it comes to something like a steak, an instant read thermometer is extremely crucial for me. I know there's people out there that can probably do the hand method with the fingers. You grab each finger and you feel here to see how tender it is. That is not for me at all. That is a quick way for me to serve an undercooked or an overcooked steak, and that is why I heavily rely on an instant read thermometer when I'm doing steak. Now, for an instant read to be great, it needs to be quick, but more importantly, it needs to be extremely accurate. Now, I have always used the Thermoworks Thermapen. This is the thermometer you will see everyone using, especially in commercial applications, and there's a reason for that. This thing is super durable, very reliable, and extremely accurate. But this is the Typhur InstaProbe, and before I even used this, I thought this thing was great. It has an awesome look to it with this huge OLED screen on here. Now you can see the camera is not picking this up too well, but I will give you some shots of this, and the screen is absolutely beautiful, and it also gives you your battery life there, which is nice. As well as that, it reads in decimals, which I like as well, just more accuracy there. But there's so much more to this thermometer to go over, and I'm going to be putting it head to head with the Thermapen on a few tests. But I'm sure you want to see a real world example of using this InstaProbe. So today, I'm going to be testing this out by cooking a beautiful steak. And my cut of steak today is a beautiful tri-tip. This is one of my favorite cut of steaks to cook. These things taste absolutely delicious. You can see all the intermuscular marbling inside there. Now, these are a great candidate to smoke, which is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing a reverse sear on this steak. I'm going to be putting it out on my offset smoker to cook for a little bit. Then I'll pull it off before it's done, and we'll get it seared over direct coals. But first, we're going to need a little seasoning on here, so let's get to it. And I'm going to keep it simple today. We're going on with some kosher salt, a little bit of black pepper, some garlic powder, and then I'm going to finish it off with just a little bit of cumin. That is a great flavor combo for a tri-tip steak. Now you want to make sure to get the sides, and we're going to season both sides of this. There we go, just get all your seasonings off the board here, and we are done. Check out that beautiful tri-tip steak. So I've already got the smoker all fired up. This is ready to go on, so let's get outside and throw this on the smoker. All right, let's get this steak on. So we're going on the top rack with this. And you can see I got another cook going on here. If you want to keep up to date with everything I'm cooking, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But let's get our beautiful tri-tip steak. Just lay that right down on the grate like that. Well, we're losing heat, so let's get this thing in, close it up, and let it smoke. So that tri-tip steak is on the offset smoker. I'm gonna be trying to maintain it around 250 degrees if I can, and I'm probably gonna let it go for 45 minutes or so before I go out and check it. I think it's gonna need more than 45 minutes, but I like to check at that time just in case, because sometimes you have a steak that cooks a little bit quicker or your smoker gets a little hotter than you intended. And once you get past your target internal, you are done. You can't go back in time, and that is it. So I'd rather check it early and see where we're at. But while the steak cooks, let's go over this Typhur Instant Read Thermometer, and I want to put this to the test and compare it to the Thermoworks Thermapen. So let's get into a few little tests here. All right, so I got a couple cups of water here. This is room temperature water. This is salted ice water, and that is warm faucet water. I turned my faucet as hot as it could go, and this is the water I got out of it. So let's get the Thermapen and the Typhur. So I'm gonna go in at the room temperature water, check our accuracy just to make sure everything is good. And you can see 69 on the Thermapen, 69.3 on the Typhur. I apologize that the camera is making the numbers like that, but both these look pretty accurate. So let's go ahead and move on to the cold water. So this is going to be a good test. You're going to be able to see how fast the reaction time is between these two thermometers. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. You could see the Typhur went right to 36 immediately. The Thermapen is at 34 degrees. If I move the Typhur around a little bit, we can get to 34.35. So it's a degree off here at cold temperature. I'm not sure which one is accurate, but you saw how quick the Typhur was reading. This thing is super fast. So let's move on to the warm water and do the same comparison. So 3, 2, 1. And again, you see we're already at 104 and how long it took the Thermapen to get up to there. Okay, so there's our little experiment, and the main thing you can see there is how much quicker the Typhur is than the Thermapen. I never really thought about it that much just because I use the Thermapen so much, but once I started using the Typhur, I realized how much slower the Thermapen actually is. So it is incredible how fast this Typhur reads you your temperatures, and I really like how there's a decimal point in there for pinpoint accuracy. You could see if it was cold or hot temperatures, it didn't matter. This was always extremely quick. Now the reason for the accuracy and quickness is because of how much effort Typhur put into making such a fantastic product here. They say this has a precise temperature reading within a half a degree, and the response time is about 0.75 seconds, which seems pretty accurate. It might even be a little faster than that. So Typhur has calibrated these thermometers at 7 different temperature points. That is why it is super accurate no matter what kind of temperatures you're dealing with, whether it be cold, hot, or somewhere in the middle. And the temperature range on this thing is incredible. It is between -58 degrees Fahrenheit and 572. I'm extremely happy with this thermometer, and I don't think I'm going to be using that Thermapen as much anymore. I just really love that big OLED screen on here. It's absolutely incredible. One of the big things about this that's fantastic is it is magnetic, unlike the Thermapen. This way I can just take it, slap it on my fridge, slap it on the side of my smoker, wherever I have it. Having a magnetic thermometer is so important to me, so I'm happy that this is equipped with that, and it is also fully waterproof, so you can clean the whole thing. But that steak should be ready to check, so let's take this Typhur out and give it a real test. All right, the tri-tip has been on for about 1 hour. Let's take a look and get a temperature check. Nice. Looks really good. See, it's got a lot of nice smoke color on there already. Let's get a temperature check. And I'm gonna try and put this in the shade so you can see the Typhur. So let's see what we got. About 125, 127-ish. So this is pretty good. Now when I'm doing a tri-tip, I like to cook it a little longer than you would a normal steak, just because it's got so much fat in there. I like to let that break down a little bit. So I think right now is a perfect time to pull this off. So I'm going to be searing this steak right in the firebox of my smoker. It is perfect timing because you can see all these logs are all burned down now. Now I've got a grill grate I'm just going to throw right over the coals. Here's the beautiful tri-tip. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this on and give it a nice sear. Let's just give it a quick temp check. Now you can see we are at 130 degrees. That's exactly what I wanted. So let's get this off. We're gonna let it rest, and then we're gonna slice into this beautiful tri-tip. All right, this thing smells fantastic, and this was such an easy cook thanks to the Typhur InstaProbe. So I'd really like to thank Typhur for sponsoring this video and letting me do a review on their awesome thermometer here. And before I slice this up, if you're interested in this InstaProbe, it is currently $109 on their website. I will put a link down below. And while you're in the description, be sure to check out the list of all the things I like to use as well. But let's get this tri-tip sliced up and we can see how it came out, and then I'm gonna give it a try because I am starving. All right, so I'd like to apologize because I sliced this up and I totally forgot to hit the record button on the camera, but this thing came out fantastic. Just give it a look. That is a nice piece of steak, cooked to about a medium, which is what I like tri-tip cooked at. You can see how juicy and tender this steak is. Tri-tip is one of my favorite cuts of steak because it has such great beefy flavor, but it isn't super tough like a lot of the other cuts that have this flavor. You can see here I got a piece and it is pretty tender for what it is. This stuff is so good. That is a delicious piece of steak right there. And this thing has an awesome smoke flavor. If you can see there, the outer smoke ring we got on this, this is why it has such great flavor. But again, this is all thanks to Typhur for allowing me to cook such a delicious steak, and their InstaProbe made it so easy and simple. Like I said earlier, be sure to check them out. I will put a link down in the description below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe right over here. And if you want to see another one of my barbecue videos, you can check this one out over here. But most importantly, get out there and smoke something good.